Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's your girl CC and I'm back again today with another interesting video. I trust you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So I just want us to see a couple of videos from women, talking about sleep divorce. And for some reason, I haven't heard, that word sleep divorce before. So I had to do a research, like to find out what it meant. So I went on Google, to ask Google what sleep divorce means. And this is what Google says, okay? It says sleep divorce involves couples sleeping in separate beds or bedrooms to improve sleep quality. It proceeds to say that this practice helps to avoid common sleep disturbances like snoring and restlessness. So, which can lead to fatigue and relationship tension. Now, I get it. Okay, I perfectly understand what sleep divorce means now. I just want to ask this question. Should couples normalize sleeping in separate beds or bedroom? Do you think it is okay? Because it is an argument going on TikTok. Like a lot of women and even some men came out to give their opinion, which I'm going to show you some of these videos, especially from the women. Now, this reminded me of some years ago, a friend of mine were like, do you have your separate room? So I said to her, no. Why should I mean, husband and wife should live, to be in just one room. Why having a separate room? It doesn't make sense. And then she went on to say, oh, you can, where you keep your clothes, your makeups and your bags, and like basically you could, be in that room all by yourself, just to cool off anytime you have an argument or misunderstanding with your partner. She said a lot of things which for me, it didn't make sense, but some people have different opinion, which we are going to see. Please stay with me, guys. I would love to know your take about this conversation that is going on TikTok. Please check these videos out.
Can we please discuss this topic? Sleep divorce. Have you heard this term? I have not heard this term, but the concept itself I have heard about and thought about a lot. Sleep divorce is basically where you are in a couple, a marriage, a partnership, whatever, and you sleep in separate beds. Now, okay, survey data suggests that it is pretty common, in fact, with estimates being at least a quarter of couples sleep separately a few times a month. But because of the stigma around these non-traditional sleeping arrangements, many couples aren't public, don't talk about it, and also calling it a divorce, a sleep divorce, has its own stigmatization with the term. But this is just my dream. Like, why do we suddenly have to go from comfortable sleep alone to uncomfortable sleep with a partner where they might snore or take up a lot of the bed or, whatever? And I like this quote a lot. We need rest to survive and live well, and our relationships do not need to be a barrier to that. Rather than holding yourself to an arbitrary standard or model for how your relationship should be, honor your and your partner's actual needs and make decisions based on what works for you. Wouldn't it be better to sleep apart and be happy than sleep together and be miserable? You can type sleep divorce on TikTok and just get a lot of, interesting content from people who actually do it. This got cut off, but this one is Carson Daly saying that sleep divorce is the best thing that ever happened to his marriage. So anyway, if I'm rich enough to have a multiple bedroom situation, multiple beds, that kind of thing, like this is my dream, but it feels like very stigmatized, and it feels like something that you would have to like out yourself with people that this is what you do, right? Do any of you do this? What do you think about this? Did you grow up in a household where this was the case? I just feel like most people believe that 2 bedrooms is a pathway to divorce, to actual divorce, and I just don't think it has to be that way. So anyway, would love your thoughts. Can we please discuss this topic? Sleep divorce.
Oh my God, yes, we should be talking about this. It unfortunately took years for my late husband and I to get around to making it an official full-time thing. He was a very heavy snorer. I am a light sleeper. This is a really common dynamic. And women tend to be the lighter sleepers. Men tend to be the snorers. It's not always that way. And I would tell people, not everyone, because not everyone, like, people get weird about it. They do fucking get weird about it. But I would share it strategically with people that I trusted and try to normalize it. And when I would share it, many of my married women friends would be like, oh my God, like, my husband keeps me up at night and like I want to sleep, like we have the space to do it, and he won't let me. He doesn't want me to, he won't let me. And I'm like, that is fucked. And my initial response is like, oh, this is about optics and how we've conjoined sharing a bed and having sex, and really it's just an economic arrangement. It's because you're too poor to afford a second bedroom, and like make the finances work. Like, honestly, if you're having sleep problems, make it work. But there's a second part of it that's more insidious, with particularly with the men insisting in heterosexual relationships that their female partner be in bed with them, even when they know they're having poor sleep, which is affecting their ability to do fucking everything. And what that is about is not just the optics, but also what those optics say, which is that as a husband, I have access to my partner's body. That is what I'm insisting on, is this access and this presence, even when you're fucking unconscious. I think it's cruel to demand that your partner stay in bed with you while you're fucking asleep, and they're not. You're not being a good partner. And I guarantee you, if your partner gets more sleep, they might want to have sex with you more.
Did you hear about sleep divorce? It's saving marriages, and here's how. If you don't know what sleep divorce is, it's where couples decide to either sleep in separate rooms, separate beds, or sleep separation, which is where they use separate comforters. If you want to learn more, there's an amazing podcast that Tim Ferriss did with Dr. Matthew Walker. He talks all about it. And couples are doing a sleep divorce or sleep separation in order to improve their quality of sleep and also improve their relationship. And there's some science to back it up. There was a study done by the National Sleep Foundation, and it shows that sleep-deprived couples are more likely to have relationship issues and more fighting. And couples who do this report to having to hear less snoring, less disturbance when tossing and turning, better temperature control, because a lot of the times men run hot and women run cool, and just having your own personal sleep space. And while you may think that this actually makes people go farther apart from each other, couples who are well rested have reported that it has improved their relationship and that they have better quality time together while they're awake. And for me, from the beginning of our marriage, because my husband tosses and turns so much, we made the decision to have 2 separate blankets. And let me tell you, we were mocked about it. But I have to say, our sleep quality is amazing. So we didn't need to sleep in separate beds, but we found that having separate blankets was the better solution and the one that worked for us. So they're not suggesting that sleep divorce is better for everybody. That is not the case whatsoever. It's always individual to each couple. So comment if you think that sleep separation or sleep divorce could improve your relationship.
I bring you today's controversial piece of marriage advice that I believe is the key to a happy and successful, long lasting marriage, and that is to get a sleep divorce. If you don't know what a sleep divorce is, it is when you sleep in one bedroom and your spouse sleeps in another so that you don't wake each other up. My husband and I have been sleep divorced for about 8 years now. We've been together 12 years, we've been married 8, so ironically, when we got married, we got sleep divorced. My husband snores so loud, he sounds like a freight train, and I wasn't sleeping. And I will tell you, I am a much better, happier, kinder, more loving wife when I don't want to strangle him. I value my sleep. And I think now he is at the point, I think he was a little bit sad at first, but now he's at the point where he doesn't want to share a bed with me anymore. And in fact, when we travel, we sleep in our own beds or we get an Airbnb so that we can have our own rooms there as well. For anyone who struggles with temperature challenges, bedding challenges, snoring challenges, get a sleep divorce, and I promise you, your marriage will soar.
I don't know. It is sounding so weird to me, probably because I'm just hearing it for the first time. But like I said, my friend told me about it. Like, she didn't say it's, sleep divorce or something, but she just said that, well, she said that she was always at the time, having misunderstanding with the husband. So she decided to have a separate room where she would just go in and cool off, reflect over what happened, and at the time, she was finding it very comforting. But as I speak to you right now, she doesn't have any room for herself. Like she's literally sleeping in the same, like she stays in the same room with her husband. But again, what do you all think? Do you think, I don't know, it's really a controversial topic or conversation that people are having on TikTok? I felt it is something that we need to talk about. For me, guys, I've told you, I'm not like, it looks like it's gonna gradually lead to, husband and wife separating. I don't think it is a good idea. I understand that, people can't stand, their partner snoring, or, kind of, they don't want to be disturbed. Okay. But then we are human beings. Okay. We can't, should I say we can't cheat nature? But I mean, we just have to tolerate. This is me. This is my opinion. But I have other videos coming up. Let's just hear what they're gonna say. And of course, I'm gonna show you some screenshots of comments. You all know how we do it here. Please check these videos out.
My neighbor just came over here and told me that everybody's talking about sleep divorce. You have to tell your story. But first, there's two things that you need to know about me. One, sleep is very important to me. And two, I love my husband. In that order. For 15 years, I endured sleeping next to that man. And here's what I mean by that. For starters, he falls asleep faster than a cashier at Aldi, which means I don't have a chance to fall asleep before his face symphony begins. Then cue the snoring, the midnight trips to the bathroom, the sleep yelling, the 5 a.m. wake ups, the farting, the sweating. Do you know what runs through that man's core? Liquid hot magma. We tried a king bed. We thought the extra space would help. But no, that just meant that my imaginary Thor's hammer could no longer reach his stupid face. I tried aggressive bed wiggling, but then I just looked like an angry worm. Then we tried a sound machine, and that eventually got so loud that I felt like I was sleeping on the damn launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center. I cannot begin to describe the rage that I felt. I legitimately wanted to rearrange his face on the daily. So finally he got a sleep study, and no surprise, he has sleep apnea. So then he got a CPAP, and I thought, this is it. This is the promised land. I'm finally going to sleep. Nope. The mask starts whistling like a and when the pressure's too high in the mask, his lips flap in the breeze. Not like a, more like a, and then he rolls over and the tube drags across the nightstand. Do you know what that sounds like? I mean, are you cartooning me? Like, are you cartooning me? And then I got strep throat in March of 2020, right as the pandemic was shutting the world down. So I slept in the guest bedroom. And then I was like, this is pretty awesome. I'm sleeping like a grandfather after Thanksgiving dinner. I wake up happier and well rested, and he doesn't have to suffer eye daggers and death threats from a sleep deprived honey badger. You know, sleep divorce implies something negative. But you know what's truly negative? Murder. You know, life is short. Do what makes you happy. Who cares what other people think? Just get some rest.
Anyways, that was quite hilarious. Like, you all can see I was literally laughing. I mean, she really explained it very well. Of course, I know some people can, like, of course, you all know what I'm talking about, okay? It is so annoying, okay, that you are sleeping and suddenly some kind of sound wakes you up, and then you realize that it is your partner snoring. Okay. It is quite annoying, but I get it. I understand now why people go for, like, they just want to have sleep in a separate bed. Some people extend it to moving into a separate room. I kind of like it, but the thing is, do y'all think it's gonna like affect the relationship? It's just a genuine question that I'm asking. Anyways, let's see more videos. I'm kind of finding this very interesting. Let me know if this topic is very interesting. I know it is controversial, but I mean, we just have to talk about it.
My neighbor just came over here and told me that everybody's talking about sleep divorce.
Okay, no, but can we talk about it? Because for the record, I am pro separate bedrooms, bathrooms, and closets. You hear me? Because while I'm sure that I will love my spouse to death, I guarantee you that I love my space more. I know I do. I know it. I have been single in my own bed for the majority of my life. I don't care how much holy matrimony is in that mattress. I want my own space. Period, point blank. Whenever this topic gets brought up, I always hear the argument of, well, if you don't want to share a bedroom and sleep together, then why even get married? And to that, I ask of you, what in the whole hell do you think marriage is? Because while yes, marriage is two people becoming one, there is no rule book to what that becoming consists of. Not to mention, sleep is very important to our health. And honey, I sleep with two fans on, the AC on, the window possibly open, and a weighted blanket on top of the comforter. I have very specific demands for how I sleep. Why would I worry about compromising what is the best form of sleep for me when we could just both have our own places to sleep? Having someone in my space to that extent would make me so irritable 24/7. I know that that would not be productive in our marriage whatsoever. I don't want to spend my marriage with my spouse bickering over hair in the sink, their clothes on the floor. We could have our own space to just be how we want to be, argument free.
Everybody's talking about sleep divorce. You have to tell your story.
Well, I'll tell you my story. I am sleeping like a baby. Big queen bed, rounding sheets, hum of my air purifier. And I'm gonna decorate it all girly here pretty soon. His can be all boy-like. Only regret is not doing it sooner. I thought if we slept in different rooms that was the end of our relationship. It was for my parents when that happened to them. No, it's only gotten better. We still have lots of cuddling overlap and intimate times. But we don't F with each other's core sleep, and that's amazing. And it makes for extra cute texts back and forth from upstairs to downstairs. If you have the extra space and room to be able to sleep separately from your partner, do it. Sleep divorce might just be the thing that saves you from a real one. Night night.
Did you know that a third of couples don't sleep together? Or at least these were the findings in a 2018 study done. 43% of the people who do sleep with their partner on a regular basis don't want to, or sometimes want to. Number one reason why people haven't done this yet is a lack of space, like not having an extra bedroom. I personally don't love the language around sleep divorce because we have a negative connotation with divorce, thinking that it's bad, but in reality, it's just a conscious choice to sleep separately from your partner. I know I personally need a lot of space and I'm not a good co-sleeper. I like to sleep with my partners from time to time, but I'm very sensitive to snoring, noise, moving, and I need like 8 to 9 hours of sleep to be a normal functioning human. These are the common reasons why people are woken up by their partners. It's interesting because 52% of people say that their partner snoring woke them up. So ask yourself, would you be a better partner if you got...
Let's talk about this latest trend, sleep divorce. This is when couples who are very much together sleep in separate rooms in hopes of improving their sleep health and relationships. But what does the science say about it? Studies show actually that people sharing a bed sleep slightly worse, but at the same time, on average, people report a preference to be sharing a bed with their partner. For most people, the psychological benefit of sharing a bed outweighs the objective downside, but not for everyone. In some cases, a partner can actually induce severe sleep disruptions, either because of different sleep schedules or snoring, and in those cases, a separate bedroom might be a relationship saver. This idea can also help new parents who might seek some much needed relief from those sleepless nights. Taking turns staying in the room with the new baby at night while the other parent sleeps well in the other room can be a great solution to share the task of caring for your newborn during the night. Have you tried a sleep divorce? Let us know in the comments below.
So I randomly took some screenshots of comments as usual, so you guys can see what other people said about, this topic. Okay, let me know your take in the comment. Should couple normalize, this sleep divorce? It is just the sound, the divorce in it that is really making it sound so weird. I'm speaking for myself now. Okay. Now, for me, I'm someone I love cuddling. Secondly, I don't like sleeping alone, to be honest. So it's not like my thing. But I'm not saying that you should do me. Just do you. Do what works for you. Don't do it because it is trending or because your friend is already, doing it. But just do it if you feel that is gonna work for you. I also would suggest that you don't just, carry your stuff and then move into a separate room. You would need to discuss this with your partner. And if he or she is okay with it, then you get on with it, as long as it's not going to affect your relationship with your partner. This is a very controversial topic, but again, we just need to talk about it. Now, I dare not talk about this where my husband is because, of course, he's not going to give in. Okay. So it is not a conversation to have, between us because, again, he's not going to give in. And like I said, I don't like sleeping alone to start with. But yeah, let me know your take in the comments. This is quite interesting. Let me know your take in the comment, guys. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm going to see you all in my next one. You all take care. Bye.